Look at this little battle here. Tommy Milner's now got onto the tail of Robbie Foley aboard the Turner Motorsports BMW. He looks down to the inside. That was late but clean. Robbie gives him the path. They both continue.
And more carbon fiber in the hairpin. We saw that in the very early goings when Jensen Altman aboard his Mustang made a similar move. And then that's
Dillman forced his way through on that United Autosports P2 car. Dillman is on the move. The champ from last year is on the attack, and all eyes are on Dane Cameron. We told you at the top of the show that we may see this. You are seeing it now. Peterson with a really savvy move on Blomqvist in Moss Corner, and Hunter McElroy is opportunistic as...
Yeah, first 6 cars leading the field right now did not hit pit lane. You see the yellow car, the JDC Miller Motorsport entry. Now being under the attack, 3 Venturi forces the issue, almost like a can opener down to the inside.
Ross Gunn aboard the Aston Martin, picking up a position as well, side by side, up the hill.
And he, by golly, put it on the front row for GTD Pro, but now that's all gone away. They'll have to change their strategy, and his mom is in attendance watching today for the first time in the States. She's seen him racing overseas, but here for the first time today, now she'll have to understand with everyone else. Dan has a long way back to the front.
Saw a little lock up there in traffic from that bright yellow Porsche from Jimmy Bruni running in GTP, and that actually bought Kenton pit stop if he was distracted there, maybe trying to get his belts loosened up in time.
And the 64 has been serviced and sent, Kev.
And they don't have to gamble as much and hope for cautions. They're in much better fuel position than everyone else. So Sebastian Priaulx won the pole, did his job. Mike Rockefeller got in. He told me, car's really good. I don't think we're the fastest, but I'll definitely take track position over the fastest car in this situation.
With inside the cockpit that they can work on, but the prototypes do not have anti-lock braking systems, and that's going to make these brake zones treacherous.
Tiptoeing at the end of the first lap, Mathieu Jaminet in the Porsche Penske 963 already has his windshield wiper on.
On board here with George Kurtz with the CrowdStrike Racing entry. This is an LMP2 machine. Look up ahead, Salah's just a low, slow, lazy spin. There's another car off to the right.
The operations of these highly sophisticated race cars, but he's still got a bit of drama, it looks like.
Yeah, it's still not right, and you may be wondering, well, what would the steering wheel have to do with that? There are so many items that are controlled via the electronic dials on the steering wheel. Sometimes if those dials have a problem, or the paddles that you shift with don't have good connections, you don't get the fire that you need. And right now this problem is not.
He's out there. The 6 car is Jaminet trying to make a move on Blomqvist there.
That was a good turn, 17 from the second Porsche 963, rounding Blomqvist. Blomqvist has got the inside on a restart. That's sketchy stuff, but good work from the Porsche man.
Boy, the Porsche Penske is just really chewing up the Acura of Blomqvist here in the early few laps. And this is going to be fun to watch over the next.
And the 120 just went for a ride here because he's dropped about a handful of positions here. You can see he's really wide there. Just keeps it together. Fortunately, we haven't had much rain here this weekend, but typically if the grass is wet, let's take a look from the Lexus onboard here. Up in front is Elliott Skier. This is turn 10. Comes through here, gets a little bit wide, and then he misses his marks going into 11. He's late to the brake pedal. Misses his turn-in point. That's Hawksworth sliding down. 4 different manufacturers in the first 4 places in this motor race, led by Acura right now. Here we go. Aiken has a run on Jordan Taylor. Gets to his flank, but he's on the outside as they get down into the brake zone. Jordan Taylor on the inside, the preferred line, but there's more grip on the outside. Aiken takes it in deep, slides across and gets to the lead.
2 teams. It is heating up.
Milner gets around the Aston Martin, almost got around Kenton Cook at the same time. He is up on the wheel. That is Robert Wickett's teammate there. Tries to go around the outside of the hairpin, doing the crossover here. Gets the launch off the hairpin, side-by-side drag rate down Shoreline Drive.
Who got any advantage? Who has any horsepower advantage? Milner moves away.
Cameron up against Tom Blomqvist, up against Benjamin Peterson, Tom Dillman, Hunter McElroy. Well, we've got it on track right here, right now. Let's go back racing. Chevrolet Grand Prix here in Canada. Big names in these P2 machines going at it at the front of this field.
Look at these cars weaving around, just trying to get those tires clean, and at the same time you generate a little bit of tire temp, but that's mainly about cleanup.
Prototypes first. Here's what happens. This is like hyper aggressive to me by Nick Tandy, except for the fact
he started it early.
He started it.
Yeah, he was kind of moving that way already, and Ricky just stayed with it, tried to accelerate alongside him, and the
cars, and a problem for the 23, the Valkyrie from Heart of Racing. Left rear is down, and he's got a long way to go to get back around to pit lane. We were talking about GTP cars on those pit stops. And this is just brutal. It takes a long time to get back, and you cannot go too fast. If you do, you risk that tire coming apart. Michelin makes a fantastic tire.
And the Sealmaster Lexus. Check this out. Watch the Ford and the Lamborghini. There's side-to-side contact there. That's once.
That's just the bumps on the straightaway there. Then Mapelli just really sends it. Vavicia's got nowhere to go, and Hesse just gets it wrong. Just kind of went straight there. I think he got into the ABS zone. The air is taken away from the nose of that race car being tucked up behind the Lamborghini. And just suddenly exceeded the threshold of the tire. And
While we watch and enjoy this, tell us more, Dave Burns.
And that is Renger van der Zande and Jack Aitken going for it. Van der Zande was told and apprised of the conditions, told that the rain was coming, and after he went off track, he said, I'll stay out and manage it for now. So hang it in there, but Calvin, this cannot be easy.
No, this is where these professional drivers really earn their money in terms of these cars. It's so difficult to drive.
They like to do that.
A green mirror, which would be GTD car, but maybe it wasn't a mirror. Maybe it was from contact earlier. You're going to see that. You just see it over that blind rise. It is a mirror, and
he sees it. He sees it right at the last moment, tries to get back to the right-hand side of the road, just clips it.
And oftentimes it's a Ferrari that has the mirrors hanging way out compared to the other cars that are the most.
Jack Aitken isn't wasting any time. He will have known how fast and aggressive Renger van der Zande was, who is under attack from Robin Freins. Freins on the inside. Van der Zande gets pushed wide in turn one. It's Acura versus BMW, and van der Zande will hold on to second.
Yeah, runs the cushion there around turn one, carries that speed. Freins pretty respectful there, didn't want to wash out and get into the side of the Acura, so his speed was a little bit compromised, even though we're as far forward as they can, try and follow up on their podium run. He and Sheena Monk at Road America.
See some damage to the front of that Gradient Racing Acura, and as you said earlier, they'll be switching manufacturers next year. Ella's now trying to get around the 120, and this is interesting. Adam Adelson behind the wheel of the 120 right now. That's the only.
It's stuck in third. It's stuck in third. Now it's in fourth. And he's telling them as he's shifting where it is sticking on the 77 car. You can just hear the emotion in his voice. What a season they have had coming into this event. They just wanted to close out this championship with a nice celebration and not a lot of drama, but we certainly are full of it now.
He opens up the door for the 023 to make a move in that championship band.
It only took an incident in GTD to change the complexion of this race. Now, Porsche Penske up front. How often have we said that this year? And it looked like Matty Campbell aboard the 6th, the second car in the shot. Little loose coming around the hairpin on the restart. And Felipe Nasr, your championship point leader in GTP, big jump.
Big traffic. That's a Reeve up ahead. That's George Kurtz, and then Chris Cumming dives down to the inside. And I'm not sure if George was not able to turn in because Chris was to his right, or whether he just misjudged it. He tips Cumming around, and then, he tips Ariba around, then Cumming and Gar Robinson had nowhere to go.
Man, American Muscle is beating me up. Corvette has a draft, has a run. What can he do with it? Heinrich to block to the inside. If you want it, you got to go around the high side. Over and under, is it going to work? Not this time. Now he's got damage to the right front. How did it happen? I think it happened right here, Cal.
Yeah, he's just trying to make a move. There really wasn't a gap there on Brendan Aribe as they go through the Andretti hairpin, and you can see it's just pulled back one of those front dive planes. That's really just downforce. It's like a wing that kind of pushes that front end down into the racetrack, so he may encounter a little bit.
Look at this in the 40. Delatraz there pushing his way through as well. Frantic opening lap as you'd expect.
Look at the tail end of the GTP cars. You can see the GTD Pro cars are all over them. Their tires come to life a little bit quicker. That could be an issue for those two Fords running up front. A little bit of debris on the racetrack. Will this bring out a caution,
Sure
local
does.
caution? We are full course yellow.
It sure does. Just like that.
Aquaplanes Tire gets up on the standing water, and you got no control of the race car.
Watching further up the hill.
Oh,
there's the yellow Inception car. Manny Franco just gets backwards, and then the 70 of Arib, nose to nose, heavy impact, but Joey Hand with nowhere to go.
Right on board here. Joey, I think, could see the incident. He backs up. Brendan straight into it. Then that collects Joey, ironically.
The GTD Pro grouped together in this one fight. Intense.
The difference in the rules now that, oh, here we see it. This is getting crazy here. The BMW, the outside. Garcia down the inside. That was so close, almost touches the Porsche.
And Verhagen around the outside in the BMW M4.
How did they make it out of that one? It did not look like it was going to play out for any of
They
them.
lost on the racetrack.
Lost a lot, but I don't think they've lost a lap. He's gotten it refired, and you could see him working through the switches. These cars are so sophisticated. There's the 65 with the drive-through penalty. This is the time to do it. You need to really try to get by in the tight section here, because if you can't get by him before the climbing, the 77, that is the
cut that tire.
leader.
The car is low, a little bit of body work rub possibly. When you get these restarts, it can be chaotic. Maybe got a little bump there in traffic.
Is the right rear down, or is it askew?
Suddenly slowed, but I definitely saw some tire rub there, I thought.
And remember that the 77, I believe, just has to finish 6th.